Okay, so imagine you're stepping out on a stage all by yourself. There's a panel of judges, they're just in front of you. They're famous. They tell it like it is. They're either going to love you or hate you. And behind them, there's a huge audience of strangers, maybe a couple of faces you know, but hundreds that you just don't. And then millions more people who are watching you as you're standing by yourself on the stage, waiting for you to perform. Now, that makes me feel quite nervous. So I wonder how it felt for my next guest, Ronan Parke, because at 12 years old, he was the runner-up of Britain's Got Talent, and that means that, Ronan, you went through that whole process. So who was judging you when you sang on stage?
Well, I was at Hammersmith Apollo when I did the audition, and Amanda Holden, Michael McIntyre, and Louis Walsh was there.
Okay, and remind us what you sang.
I sang Feeling Good, but the Nina Simone version.
Yeah.
Which was really cool because I kind of grew up listening to that song.
Did you pick it?
Yeah, I did, but I had help from like my vocal coach because I had a vocal coach at the time and my mum. So
was that like having singing lessons? Someone you had lessons with, and they kind of said, yes, that song would be good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did it feel then when you were up on stage? I'm guessing the moment before you hear your name called. Is that how it works before you go out? Yeah,
literally, like we were stood at the side of the stage, and Ant and Dec said, like when you were ready to go out, and it was like so nerve-wracking. Like my mum and dad were like, if you don't want to do this, we can go home now. And I was like, I've come all this way, like I need to do it now. And it was amazing, but like it was all a blur.
Did you almost feel like you didn't recognise it being your own name? So Ant and Dec say, Ronan Parke's your turn.
Yeah.
You're thinking, who? Huh?
Yeah, I think
me.
Everything that was said just completely went in one ear and out the other. Like all I was focusing on was just performing and getting it right, really. Yeah,
so you kind of go on to autopilot, and all the times of practicing it comes through. So why did you enter?
Well, ever since I was really young, I've always kind of dreamt of being famous. And
how can really young? Because 12 is young. So how young is really young?
Well, about like 3 or 4, I was always dancing around and singing.
So some of your earliest memories, then, you're thinking?
Yeah. Like literally all I can remember doing when I was younger is singing to our family and things like that, and I always used to get so scared. So like it was the first kind of competition that I'd ever like entered in, and I didn't tell my parents or anything. I just wanted to literally, like, I didn't want anyone else to comment. I just wanted to do it because I'd had vocal lessons for 2 years, and so I felt that I was ready. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And just
Did you not ask the opinion of anyone else? Did you not? What about your singing teacher? Did you just say?
I didn't tell her.
So how did you do it?
Well, basically, like one of our family friends helped me kind of enter, and she was the only person who knew.
Right.
And
so did you have to fill in a form or ring someone up?
It was on the internet, and you had to like say why you think you'd be good for the show, and I was like, because I really like singing.
But so does everyone else.
Yeah.
That's hard, isn't it? Why trying to stand out from everyone?
Yeah, that's
so what
the thing.
did you just put because you like singing?
Yeah, and like I was like, I've done it since I was really young, and blah blah blah. Like all my friends tell me I'm good. I don't really know, but like,
did you have to include a video or anything like that, or a sound of you singing?
No, it was literally just
the words.
Yeah, because you go for like an audition before you do the full audition. So.
Oh my goodness me. So when you're up there, you got through, you were a runner-up, so you came second. But did it feel like that whole time as though you were living the dream? Yeah,
like there was so many things happened in such a short space of time that it was like everything was a blur. Like I can hardly remember like anything. I can't remember. The only thing I can really remember about going out on stage was that I was at the wrong entrance to go on the stage in the semi-final. And obviously I was so scared. It was so manic backstage, and they were like, you're at the wrong entrance, and I had to run like round the back of the stage while my VT was on to quickly get to the
video
stage.
Thing.
Yeah. And it was funny, but like at the time I can just remember Sam and Cal winking at me and being like, and I was like, oh god,
that's a strange feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you feel gutted not to win?
At the time, like I never ever thought that I would even get through the auditions. So the fact that I came runner-up, I'm like so happy about that. Like I was thrilled. And I can just remember standing there, and they were saying like who was coming. I think that year they do it like different every year, but that year they were saying like who came like 10th, 9th, things like that. So I was like ready for my name to come out like any minute. And then when I got to the like final 3, like I was just like, what do I do? And I think I was so happy because I really got on well with the winner, Jai McDowell. Like, we went on a tour afterwards as well, and he's a really close friend, and like, I was so happy for him because he really did deserve it. So I don't think at the time I was disappointed or anything. And I remember running off like stage and saying to my mum, like, wow, and she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, why are you sorry? Like, I've just come second. Like, I was so happy.
Well, that's good. And we've spoken to Jai, and he is a very nice, down-to-earth kind of guy. He's been lovely. A guest on this show. You've gone on, you got signed after that. You went on and did some massive performances in front of huge numbers of people, crazy numbers of people. Did you perform at like the New Year's Gala in Beijing in 2012? An estimated TV audience of 700 million, which is just like ridiculous numbers.
It was absolutely crazy. Like, it was amazing, one of the best things I've ever done, but it was crazy.
What made it so crazy?
I think the fact that it was like in Beijing, like on New Year's, like it was just so weird. Like, I never thought I'd be able to get to a stage like of doing something like that. It was just so amazing.
So how old were you when you did that? Were you like 13?
No, it was 12, I was 14, yeah.
Right. 14. So what's happening to everyone else? Because what happened to all your mates around this and the rest of your family? Where are they?
Well, they've all been so supportive. Like, I've kept the same friends that I had before I went on the show. So I don't think, like, lots of people say, has it been difficult? Have people, like, really taken the mick or anything? But that's not happened to me.
Or wanted to be your friend because suddenly you've got this huge fan base.
That's not really happened to me. And kind of, like, I've kind of grown wise with that. Like, I can tell if someone's like just being friends with me because they want to be like, yeah, I'm friends with someone from Britain's Got Talent, but I've not really got that. So I've been really, really lucky, and my family have been so supportive, and just being able to make them proud is lovely.
And you've got a brother as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is he older than you?
Yeah.
Now, has this created any sibling rivalry? Because
No.
I can remember fighting with my sister quite a lot. We're similar age, I think, difference to you and your brother.
My brother has literally, if someone was to ask who's been the best person, I'd say my brother. And people are like, but he's not come like round the country with you like my mum and dad have and everything. But like, it could be so difficult for a sibling to have to go through it when, like, I've been going off like lots, and it could be so difficult.
You're in the
for
limelight
him.
out of the two of you. You're the one who lots of people know, random people, famous people, and so on. So it
could be so difficult for him, but he literally takes it in a stride, and he is just amazing with it.
Shall we hear a little burst of your song, because you're going to be performing this weekend in the West? We can have a little burst of the song, and then we can talk some more. So what's this one called?
This is called Move, and it's out next Sunday.
Okay, so you've put together your own EP or album, or
well, there's going to be an album in summer. This is just a single for it.
Okay, right, well, let's hear what it sounds like just to get a flavour of you and your music.
Stand by, girl, and let everyone else make all the calls. Just get up, stand up, and make your way to the dance floor, dance floor.
Blimey, the first thing I said to you when I first heard the bits at the start, I'm like, is that you?
Yeah, it's very different.
It is very different to what you were singing. Different because you're singing your own stuff as well.
Yeah.
And your voice does sound different from hearing you on Britain's Got Talent, but a much sort of kind of an urban-y street kind of feel going on there. So I can imagine people are going to enjoy this. So what happened? So you got signed for a time. Presumably that was all great, and then, like lots of people, you get let go, so you're making it your own way now and trying to record things and do it that way.
Like, I was up to so much. I was like touring around the country and everything. It was amazing, and I was recording my album. So it was all new experiences for me, but there was a time that you have to kind of break away from the Britain's Got Talent side of it, and kind of, I wanted to find myself, like, as an artist, like find who I, like what I wanted to do, what I wanted to sing. So I think the time that I was like released from Sony was a really good time for me, because it gave me time to go back to school and kind of have a break from it. And in that time I kind of met my new manager, met like the new record label, and like since then we've just been working really hard to find my new artist, and I think we've really kind of got that now, because it's like mixed genres of music on this new album, and I'm really excited about it.
And that's a really interesting point, because I can remember being your age, and I'm now sounding like I'm 100, and I'm not. But you do change quite a bit between the age of 12 and 14. You do go through loads of changes. It's true. So trying to find your voice as you're changing as well.
Yeah,
that could be a tricky thing to kind of try and pin down. Is there someone who sort of mentors you? Someone who kind of you've been able to go to, either who perhaps already is in the music industry, or someone you met through Britain's Got Talent, or someone around?
Yeah, well, I've got my manager who's really been there for me recently and kind of really worked well with me, because we've really connected. And he's kind of helped me find like what I want to do and who I really want to be in the music industry, and I'm so happy that I found him, because that's given me the opportunity to carry on with it. Like, I never wanted it to end after Britain's Got Talent. Obviously I have my parents who have been there for me like my whole life. Their parents say.
Oh, bless them, they are laughing. That's Dad out there, I think he's having a chuckle. What about someone like Simon Cowell then? Would you still be in touch with him, or does that, the further you get from being involved in the show, the time goes by and you don't keep in touch?
Well, I think he's such a busy man, so he
and
can't
you're incredibly polite.
He can't like speak to
everyone. Touch with everyone.
Yeah, and I met him after the show and spoke to him, and he was absolutely lovely, and he's really works hard, and so he's someone that I look up to in the music industry.
Well, I think there are probably quite a lot of young people who look up to you, and I think you probably are a bit of a role model for some young people, and you are perhaps inspiring them. You're smiling. Do you think? And I've looked at some of, like you've got your fan site and people tweeting, and on the social media, loads of young people are really active on there and saying how happy and excited they are to see you. And you must have had a little sense of that. Even if you are, I know you're modest and polite, or maybe I should just say it for you. I think that happens.
See, my fans are amazing. There's so many fans who've actually stayed with me through the break of singing, and I'm so thankful to them for that. And so this album is really for them to have something now. And yeah, I guess like I get lovely messages from them, like fan mail, tweets, and it's really amazing that I could like affect people's life in such a positive way. And I think like if anything that I really wanted to happen after the show, that would be that, like being able to make people smile and make them feel happy by listening to my music or seeing me or meeting me.
Do you ever get any idiots saying negative things on social media?
I think everyone has that,
and you just let it just brushes off you?
Yeah, like
good, because that's the right approach. You're never going to please everyone all the time.
Exactly.
So what are you hoping that happens? So you get your music out there, you're going around performing at all sorts of different places, like in Bristol. What do you ultimately want to happen? Are you weaving in school as well in amongst all this?
Yeah, I've got my
doing
GCSEs at the minute. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So what do you want to happen once you've finished all of that?
You know what? I just would love to really kind of work in music side of things, because that is what I've always wanted to do, and that's what I want to carry on doing. I guess I'm gonna kind of take it how it comes, really. Like I say, this album is really for the fans that I've got at the minute, for them to kind of have something. And of course, like I love seeing new fans as well, like mixing the old with the new.
Oh my goodness, you have a wise head on young shoulders, I think. Well, look, thank you for coming in and being a guest on the afternoon show. Good luck with everything, the album and everything else. You're going to be at the Southmead Festival tomorrow in Bristol, and I'm sure appearing at other points too. So thank you.